Pleasant evening, welcome to BizWorld. The government expects Malaysia's economy will need at least 6 months to recover after the COVID-19 crisis ends. According to the Minister in the Prime Minister's department in charge of the economy, Datuk Seri Mustafa Mohamad, the estimated recovery period was reasonable with the support of the right strategies. He added that various sectors, including the tourism, hospitality, retail and investment sectors of the country were adversely affected by the COVID-19 outbreak. Meanwhile, he said the government was ready to discuss with some of the small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, as well as micro-entrepreneurs who claimed that they were left out of the people-centric economic stimulus package Prihatin. They represent over 60% in the workforce, with more than 900,000 local entrepreneurs in the country. Meanwhile, Datuk Seri Mustafa said airline companies, including some of the most well-known in the industry, are facing their biggest challenge due to the COVID-19 pandemic. He said companies like Malaysia Airlines, Air Asia and even Malindo Air are big employers and they certainly require different action. Although there was no announcement in terms of assistance for airlines in the Prihatin Rakyat Economic Stimulus Package Prihatin, the sector would need action. Air Asia has temporarily suspended all international flights for operations in Malaysia, Thailand and the Philippines and all domestic flights due to the COVID-19 outbreak until April 21st. Malaysia Airlines has also significantly reduced its overall network due to the nationwide movement control order. The Federation of Malaysian Manufacturers FMM has expressed hope that the government would consider relaxing some measures in the Prihatin Rakyat Economic Stimulus Package Prihatin. Its President Tan Sri Soh Tian Lai said the Federation also hopes that the government would consider some new proposals for urgent consideration to help ease the immediate cash flow and financial constraints of businesses, especially the SMEs due to the COVID-19 and the movement control order. For the 50 billion ringgit Dana Jamin National Berhad Guarantee Scheme, FMM hopes that banks will fully assist affected companies with reasonable interest charges and also focus on saving the financially distressed companies from folding with easier compiled conditions since the government has already provided guarantee with low interest. FMM also appeals for Bank Negara Malaysia's further intervention to ensure that there is consistency across all financial institutions in the treatment of interest during the moratorium period. Affin Hwang Capital expects Malaysia's real gross domestic product GDP growth to contract by 3.5% this year. Despite the announcement of the stimulus package by the government, the research firm expects Malaysia's real GDP growth to be in negative territory, possibly in the first and second quarter of 2020, on the back of a sharp contraction in domestic demand and weak exports due to uncertainties caused by COVID-19. In a research note, the firm said real aggregate domestic demand is expected to contract by 4% for 2020 as a whole, compared with 4.3% in 2019. In view of the negative impact on the country's domestic demand and global supply chain disruption on Malaysia's manufacturing and external sector, Affin Hwang also says that it cuts real GDP growth projection down to negative 3.5% for 2020 from an earlier forecast of 3.3%. That's all the time we have for BizWorld this time around. To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wildflower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. I'm Arif Subhan. Stay safe and stay at home.